Good morning guys and welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe it's time for another reset. I'm filming this on March 29th, so got a couple of days left of the month of March, but for the most part pretty much over. I know where I stand with all of my goals and such. Pull up the Notion, let's get into it. But first, as always, we're gonna go back, rewind, do a little reflection. March was such a better month than February, mostly because February I realized at the end of the month that it was just a horrible month for me, so I was determined to kind of shift things around, make some changes, really intentionally try to make the month better, and it was by far. Honestly, March had its ups and downs, I will say. March was not a perfect month by far, but it was a lot better than February, and I feel like I'm ending the month really strong. So the easiest way for me to kind of do this reflection is to just go back through my camera roll and look at the beginning of March. The first weekend in March, we actually celebrated an early St. Patrick's Day with my friends, and we did a little like bar tour crawl, and they had this little like jitney bus that would bus you to each location, so you didn't have to drive or anything like that, and it was really fun. There were people all dressed up for St. Patrick's Day. There were bagpipes at some of the bars. Like, it was a really fun time, and I'm really glad we did it not on St. Patrick's Day weekend because it was a lot less crowded. I did take lots of pictures. If you guys remember, that's one of my goals. I took lots and lots of pictures, and now I'm just so glad that I have these pictures to look back on with my friends. So that was like started the month out really strong. And then we immediately, like the following weekend, were going to DC. If you saw my DC vlog, I'll leave it linked in the cards. Basically, that's all we got up to, and it was a really fun trip. It did have kind of some ups and downs because the middle day of our trip, which was like our full day, it poured rain the entire day, and that was really kind of like a bummer. It bummed us all out, but we still made the most of it, and I had a really great time. We went with friends. Our Airbnb wasn't the greatest, but aside from that, it was a fun time. The bed was comfortable, and honestly, that's all that matters to me, as long as the bed's comfortable. And then honestly, those were the two like big highlights, but we did have a weekend where we did like a little breakfast with friends, like breakfast, lunch, brunch with friends over on the island. If you guys don't know, I live pretty close to the Jersey Shore. Just like walked around. It was a beautiful day out, warm, sunny, and we got coffees and brunch and walked around. We even went down to the beach a little bit and walked on the beach, and that was really fun. I, of course, did get a shamrock shake this month. I love mint flavored things. Mint is probably like my favorite dessert flavor. I know that's a very like controversial stance, but I will die on that hill. Mint is a good dessert flavor. So I always really look forward to the shamrock shakes every year. I know they're really not good for you. They're like so bad for you, but I only get like one or two every year. And then just like looking back, I really just kind of was killing it with videos. I put out a lot of really good content this month. I'm proud of a lot of the videos I made, and I feel like my videos are doing better and better each month. So overall, March was just a good month. I got outside a couple times, went for a few walks, and I'm feeling a lot better and just like getting out of that winter slump. So now let's move into the goals portion of this video. You guys know the drill by now, and I'm so glad that you guys are liking these videos because I just find they're so fun. They really like set the tone for the month for me, and I have just been having a good year overall, and I really think it's because I'm being so intentional about my goals, and I'm having to make these videos for you guys to keep myself on track. So for personal goals, I am still falling short with reading, and I need to do something about this. This is going to be the biggest focus for April. I really need to tackle my reading. I don't know why. It was like I had such a fire for reading at the beginning of the year, and it just fizzled out, and I feel like I'm in like a reading slump. Like I cannot get back into it. I cannot jump into a book. And I think it's because it's this series, this Atlas series. I'm not excited to read it, and it's kind of put a roadblock because I have to finish that series before I start another one. So I'm actually going to take a break from this series and move on to a different one and see how I feel. See if I feel differently, if I can jump back into reading. And then maybe when I'm doing really, really well, I'll finish the last 2 books of this series. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because otherwise the year is going to surpass and I'm not going to have read any of my books. So that is something we're going to prioritize. I didn't end up going to the library. We had a really busy month. As you could see, we did a lot, and a lot of our weekends were kind of taken up, so just didn't get a chance. I did finish my green sweater, and I finished it very early on in the month, but I think I mentioned that in the last video that I was like almost done with it. There's like hairs on this because I've worn it so much, but I finished my green sweater, and you guys have seen this in videos. I think I've showed some like me wearing it in some videos. Specifically, I think my DC pack with me, because I did wear it to DC. Absolutely love it. I love the way it turned out. I love it so much that I want to make another one in like other colors, but this sweater took me so long to make, so I am hesitant to like get right back into it. I definitely need to pick up a different pattern, a faster pattern. But yeah, I don't know how much knitting I'm gonna get done during the spring summer. That's usually when I take my break from knitting, so we'll see. Wake up at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. I did, for the most part, stick to this and stick within this like 7 a.m. wake up time Monday through Friday. It took me about a week to fully adjust to daylight savings time. I don't really know why, but I've talked to a few people and I feel like it just hit everybody really hard this year. So it did take me a week to adjust, where I was waking up at like 8 instead of 7, but it was technically 7, like, because that's what I was used to. So I'm giving myself a pass, but other than that, I did really well sticking to it, so I am going to check it off. Meal prep lunches on Sunday. I meal prepped. We didn't have to like buy lunch out at all this month, so I'm really proud of that. I not only cooked 1 new recipe, but 3 new recipes this month. I just felt like cooking. I don't know what it was. I think it's because it's the shift in season, and we tend to eat pretty seasonally, especially because I'm really strict on our grocery budget, so I tend to buy more produce that's in season. And with the shift of the seasons changing comes new recipes, so I think that's why I was like so inspired to make some new recipes. But I found at least like, I think 2 out of those 3 are probably going to be in permanent rotation because they were really, really good. And that's it for my personal goals. Now let's move on to the financial goals. Pay off Disney Visa to 0. So I did do this. I checked it off and I got it paid down. But now it has a balance again because we had to renew our annual passes. And I wasn't accounting to renew them because they are up for renewal April 20th. We have a trip booked in May. And I couldn't reserve our park days for that trip, and I kept like not realizing, I was like, why can't I reserve these? Like, there's plenty of time. I have the hotel. Like, why am I not able to reserve these? And it's because our annual pass expires. So technically those reservations are for a new year. So I did end up renewing our passes, which we 100% knew that we were going to do. And I would love to know if you guys would be interested in a video on the annual passes. We do have I think it's called like the Incredipass, and I would love to know if you guys would want a video on that, because I don't know how interested you guys are in the whole annual pass thing. We've had it for a full year now, so I can really like give you my thoughts on having it for a year. I'm going to end up putting this back on the goal list, but I did pay it off. It's just something I continually like to keep our credit cards at 0 at the end of every month. I didn't pay $800 extras towards our car because I had to pay our car insurance this month. I pay our car insurance every 6 months, so it's a large lump sum every 6 months instead of paying it monthly. And then no buy on new clothes. I was so close to accomplishing this, and then we had a beautiful sunny weekend and we were like, let's go to the mall and walk around the mall because it's an outdoor mall. I got a couple of things. I didn't get much. If you want to see what I got, I have a haul in my week in the life video that you can check out here. I didn't get that much, and I only got stuff that I actually needed, so I can check it off though. And then we move on to work goals. Post 8 YouTube videos. I did. I actually posted more than 8 videos. I think this will be my 11th video for the month, so that's really nice. 8 videos is always my minimum, but I do try to kind of reach like 10. Hit 350 Instagram followers. Guys, I'm so close to this, and I actually thought that this was going to take me a few more months to get to, but as of today, I'm at 338. And I'm so close to 350. I had a nice spike in followers because a lot of my recent posts have done really well on Instagram. Post 20 Instagram posts. I did. I finally did it. I can finally check it off. I posted 20, I think over 20 for the month of March. It helps that March is a long month, but I'm really proud of myself for accomplishing that. And what really helped is that I planned out like 2 weeks in advance all of my content ready to go, scheduled it. I didn't even have to really think about it, but I am getting towards the end of that, so I have to really sit down and schedule out another 2 weeks. Hit 2,000 watch hours. This is such a slog fest, seriously. It is difficult to get to this number. I am at 1,284 watch hours currently. One day I will be able to check this off. I am really gonna try and like hit it out of the park in April. I want to post a lot of videos in April. I think I'm gonna aim for 3 videos a week, most weeks. I'm not gonna hold myself to it, but I've been pretty consistent with the 2 videos a week for the month of March. And then we move on to the last category, and that is our fun goals for the month. Go on one date outside of the house. Like I said, we went to the mall and walked around the mall together and got like some snacks and had a fun time. We didn't go on 2 dates inside, mostly because we were spending so much time outside. Go out with friends. We did our bar crawl for St. Patrick's Day. We did our DC trip, which was multiple days. We had our lunch date on LBI with our friends. And I also took more photos with my loved ones. I did really exceptionally well for the month of March with my goals. To me, this is a success. Now we switch some gears and set our goals for April. So a lot of these are going to be copy and paste shifted over. So for personal, we're changing it up. I want to read 2 books. That's it. I'm keeping it low. Expectations are low. We're going to start slow and ramp back up. I still want to go to the library. I'd like to do a library trip. I'm adding walk outside 3 times a week. This is a little ambitious for me, but I really want to challenge myself. I think it's going to be a lot nicer for the month of April. I'm keeping wake up at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday on here just because I want to stay consistent with it, so I'm just going to keep it. Keeping meal prep lunches. I upped cook 1 to cook 2 new recipes because I cooked 3 last month, so I think I can cook 2 new ones. Financial, pay off annual passes, pay $500 extra towards car, no eating out except intentional dates. So, you know what I mean? Like when you're just home from work late and you don't feel like cooking dinner and you're like, you want to order in? Let's order in. I don't want to do that for the month of April. We've done that quite a bit the month of March, and I just want to cut it out for April. No buy new clothes. I'm going to make an exception for a couple of souvenirs in Disney for my birthday, but that's it. I have like very specific like 2 items that I want to buy, and that's it. Work goals, all literally exactly the same. Fun goals, also exactly the same. I got rid of take more photos because I did accomplish that goal, so I think I'll be able to continue doing that. Added a couple of new ones, took some old ones away. We'll see what the month of April looks like. So now we're just going to run through some favorites I had for the month of March. 2 of them are products. So this first one is very simple, very basic. It is a Good Molecules Hyaluronic Acid Serum. And I normally use the one by The Ordinary, but I went to repurchase it and they were sold out. So I had to kind of shift gears and find something else. And this is actually a little bit bigger, and it was like $1 less expensive. It works exactly the same. So if you're looking for a good hyaluronic acid serum, check out the one by Good Molecules. I know nothing about this brand other than they're cruelty-free and it looked good on paper. And then the next product is an oldie but a goodie. So this is the Vapour Aura Multi-Use Stick in the color Crave or 210. I don't know if they still sell this color, but it is just like an orange tone-based multi-use stick that I've been using honestly every summer for a couple years now. I worked with Vapour in the past and I really like their company. I love everything they stand for. They come in nice sustainable packaging. The company itself is great and I love their products. They really do last and they work amazing. So whenever I run out of this, you better believe I'm repurchasing this. I'm actually wearing it today on my cheeks, and I usually dab like a little bit on my lips, kind of over my nose, and sometimes I'll even put it on my eyes for like a full wash of color. It's honestly my favorite thing to do when I want to just look a little bit more awake, alive, rejuvenated, but not have to put a ton of makeup on. Then I have, real quick, this cookbook. This cookbook is why I cooked so many new recipes last month. This is the First Mess cookbook by Laura Wright. She has a blog called The First Mess. I've tabbed it like crazy. I made this Moroccan stew this month. One of my favorite things I've made from this cookbook. It was delicious. I'm probably going to make it again. Can't say enough good things. I will leave it linked down below. And then I have a couple of shows, YouTubers, things I've been watching, things I've been enjoying. You guys know I love a good period piece. And I started watching Jamestown on Amazon Prime. I don't remember what subscription, but I did the free trial and watched like 2 seasons. So that just shows you how good the show is. When I can sit down and binge like a whole season, it's a good show. I really liked it. It's about the settling of Jamestown. It's really good, really interesting. I like the story. It's obviously a dramatization of the real life events that happened, but it's really good. I've also been watching Smallville with my husband. Now, I loved Smallville growing up. I watched it religiously. I owned the entire box set on DVD, and yeah, I absolutely adored that show and watched it all the time growing up. So my husband has never seen like the whole thing. He's seen like episodes here and there. I decided to sit him down and educate him on just the greatness that is the show Smallville. And the music for that show is so good. It will take you down memory lane. Tom Welling is one of my favorite portrayals of Superman. Honestly forgot how much I loved that show until we started watching it again. But if you've never seen it and you want just like a nostalgic like early 2000s show, give it a watch. It's really good. It's very much villain of the week type of show. The later seasons get really good. Like, one of the best portrayals of Lex Luthor too, in my opinion. Just, it's a very interesting show, but it's also quirky. It's also early 2000s. Like, you gotta laugh at it. You gotta, like, it's bad, but in a good way. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just great piece of TV. And then as far as YouTubers go, one that I never mentioned before and one that was new to me, and her name is Cat Meets Magic. I found her because I'd been searching for Alani vlogs for a really long time. I really just wanted some like good vlogs of Alani because I am really considering planning a trip there in the future, and I just am very particular about Disney vlogs that I like to watch. I don't like super high production things. I just like something that feels cozy and like you're hanging out with a friend. And I really loved her Alani vlogs. And she also has Tokyo Disney vlogs that I'm about to watch. And I really like her channel. And I definitely think you guys should check her out. That is all of my favorites. Hopefully you made it to the end and you enjoyed this video. And I will wrap it up. If you did, make sure to hit a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video.